What's up, my fellow Call of Duty professionals? I hope you liked that clip of the guy screaming. He seemed quite shocked to have lost that little sniper duel to me, but that was inevitable. Anyways, in this video today, I'm going to talk over the M13 in Warzone and how effective it is, its stats, and what kind of role it fulfills compared to the other top ARs in the game. And if you do end up enjoying this video, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate it a lot. So first, just to go over the background of this gun, it's widely agreed that as of right now, the M13 along with the M4 and the Grau are pretty much the top assault rifles in Warzone. You know, arguably the Ram 7 is also a top assault rifle, but its recoil just makes it not really as versatile as or as popular as the other top 3 Rs I just mentioned. So the new Galil could potentially also be a top AR, but I haven't really used it yet, I'll admit, since it only just got released, so yeah, I can't really comment on that, but I should make a video on that soon, so stay tuned if you're interested. But anyways, the M13, back to the M13, it's quite similar to the Grau in the role that it fulfills, as it's really meant to be kind of the long-range, super accurate and low-recoil assault rifle that the Grau is. But at the expense of having a pretty slow time to kill against someone with 3 armor plates. Now, if you're hitting someone in the upper chest and they have 3 armor plates, the M13 will kill in 650 milliseconds, which is very slow. The Grau is able to actually kill slightly faster at 640 milliseconds, but for comparison, the M4 kills a lot faster at 576 milliseconds and the Ram 7 at 544 milliseconds. So with all that said and done, you would expect the M13 to be quite terrible, right? But the thing that makes the M13 really a top-tier assault rifle in Warzone is its high accuracy and extremely high fire rate of 923 rounds per minute, which is by far the highest of all the assault rifles in the game. So missing shots with the M13 is a lot less punishing and makes it pretty easy to spray with at close range. Now, at long range, the high fire rate has an added benefit of, like, making it quite easy to accidentally land those all-important headshots, or just like if you're spraying someone who is moving around and stuff, chances are there's a pretty good chance that some of your shots will be headshots, which speeds up your time to kill quite dramatically in Warzone. Now, with all those main points out of the way on the M13, what do I think of it overall compared to the other top assault rifles in Warzone? And well, I think overall I do like the Grau a bit better than the M13. I think that the M13, whilst it's good, the Grau is just better at the role that these two guns are really trying to compete with each other for, and that's for being the king of medium range to long range engagements. Now, they're very similar, don't get me wrong, they both have very low recoil, but the thing that really I like the Grau, I like a lot more on the Grau, is that it has way better iron sights on the Archangel barrel. Now, a lot of people underestimate how important having good iron sights are, because it allows you to save an attachment slot, and not having to waste that attachment slot just allows you to kit it out better by maybe adding a better recoil attachment or something like a tac laser or something. With the M13, all the iron sights, I feel like there's just too much clunk on the sides, which means if you're aiming at someone at medium to long range, it will be a lot harder to track and land shots on your target compared to if you were using the Grau with the Archangel barrel, because those iron sights are just so clean and fantastic. I think, if I'm honest, I think it's a bit overpowered and is one of the main reasons why the Grau is so OP in Warzone, because with all the other assault rifles, the iron sights are quite obstructive, but for whatever reason, they gave the Grau, the most accurate gun in Warzone, better iron sights than everything else pretty much. Now, about the accuracy on the M13, I did say it's very good, but I think the Grau's accuracy is a bit better. It's just more consistent, I think, and easier to land shots. If you're going full auto with the M13, you'll probably notice that it kind of moves towards the right a little bit more than the Grau does, whereas with the Grau it's just completely vertical recoil pretty much, which just makes it a lot more predictable and a lot more forgiving, I think. But the M13 is still like top tier in terms of accuracy, so you don't have to worry about that in that regard. So yeah, overall, even though I like the Grau more than the M13 for medium range, I do think that the M13 does fit a pretty good other niche in Warzone, and that is to use it as a medium range assault rifle, knowing that it isn't as good as the Grau for that purpose. But if you find yourself needing to get into closer range engagements, like say in a building, I do think that the M13 is better in that scenario than the Grau. Now, that might be a bit surprising, because I did mention that the Grau has a slightly faster time to kill than the M13, But the M13's very high rate of fire makes it just fantastic for spraying people down at those close ranges. And if you can land headshots, the M13 actually blows the Grau out of the water in terms of time to kill. Assuming both players are mixing in headshots with each other, the M13 is just like leaps and bounds above the Grau if you can do that. Now, another benefit of the M13's high rate of fire compared to the Grau that I don't really see many people mention is that it's a lot more annoying when you're getting shot by someone with an M13, because the flinch effect is just like more troublesome, and also that panic factor that you get when you're just getting sprayed down really quickly. It really does affect like a player a lot, and it'll just make them like, maybe they'll do something stupid like dart to the side or like try and run away from you, or like it'll just make them not able to hit you as easily because they're flinching so much. So in long range this is good, but in close range it can really also save you quite a lot, especially if you're just trying to hip fire someone because you don't have time to aim down your sights, or they're like jump shotting into you, for example. So yeah, all in all, these benefits really does make the M13 pretty good at close range encounters, and I'm definitely a lot more confident when I'm trying to charge someone in hiding in a building with the M13 than I am with the Grau. But with that said, something like the M4 or the Ram 7 will still be much better at close range than the M13 is, just because those guns have a lot faster time to kills. But with the M13, you'll be able to more confidently engage people at further ranges than the M4 or Ram 7, which kind of gives it like the best of both worlds, I think. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the M13 is kind of in between the Grau and the M4 in the meta right now in Warzone, in that the Grau is the dominant AR for medium range, and the M4 is the dominant AR for close range. And over here, with the M13, it is better than the M4 for medium range, and better than the Grau for close range. But it loses to the M4 in close range. Now, I hope that kind of makes sense, and that's really the simplest way I can sum this up overall, I think. And just regarding my point on the M4 being the dominant AR in close range in the Warzone meta right now, yes, I know something like the AK or the Ram 7 is technically better at close range, but their recoil just makes them way too unversatile to use at medium range, which is why you don't really see many of the competitive Warzone players use those guns. Now, as of making this video, the Galil, or the CR56 AMAX as it's called in the stats, was recently added to Warzone, so I'm not really sure how it fits into the meta at the moment, because I'll admit I haven't really used it that much yet. But from what I've heard, so far it seems to be really good in close ranges. Yeah, but as I said before, I'll make a video on that sometime in the future. And now to go over the attachments I'm going to recommend. Now, the best setup I've found that works for me is the monolithic suppressor, Merc foregrip. Now, normally in a lot of my other guns I use the Commando foregrip, but on the M13 it's been proven that the Merc foregrip actually has a better effect on your recoil control, and also that added hipfire benefit really does help at close ranges, so I'm going to suggest the Merc foregrip this time. You'll want to use also the Tempest Marksman Barrel, tac laser, and 60 round extended mags. Now, I did try out the Cyclone Barrel as well, which also gives a slight boost to damage range and comes with an integrated suppressor, but even though this seems like a very good deal, I did find that the damage range boost wasn't as good as the Tempest Marksman Barrel paired with the monolithic suppressor, so that's why I decided not to go with the Cyclone Barrel anymore and just use the Tempest Marksman Barrel together with the mono suppressor, because I think it really does have a better effect on your damage range by quite a bit, which was really noticeable to me. So yeah, keep that in mind. Now, with all that said and done, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked what you saw here today, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot, and I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, thank you for watching till the end, and see you in the next video, hopefully.